Okay. Starting another stream today. I'm going to be doing some more work on the video that I've been plugging away at for the last couple days. Before I do, I have to quickly reset and get ready for the work that I'm planning to do. So while I get the odds and ends done that I need to get done, I'm going to start streaming. And I'll let this play in the background. That's a sweet little thing. That's the reason why I was most impressed with this thing. I wouldn't call the next one a pride thing or anything. I'm just playing it because it's pretty sound. I don't necessarily think the words either, and I'm still working this out so that I can do it without necessarily having to stop and fix it as I'm doing it. I think that was a Newfoundland song, that last one.
Pretty sound. I don't
Jack
necessarily
Hinks.
think the words either, and I'm still working this out
so that I can do it without necessarily having to stop and fix it as I'm doing it. Oh no, this is the provincial anthem. I got better at it after. I don't practice this one near as much as I should, the dulcimer I mean. But I only got it on July 1st, so that's not too bad. And I recorded this a day later. Almost cool. Makes me want to cry listening to it. Not because it's shitty, but because it's actually good. Needs another instrument. You're laughing. What's the next one? It's a cover. Oh, that's the Doors. It's a great song. I love you the best. In the summer, Indian summer, so the plan for the day, YouTube. My name is James PFP, by the way. Welcome to my channel. I've got some video work that I want to finish up. It's a bunch of different tests on one specific video. It's the Ford Fisher live stream, which we've been working on the last couple days. Good news is all the motion stabilization has been completed, I think. Anything that I want to get done, I've got done. I might have to do another short section of zooming in on a Ford Fisher clip. And I need to do some color correction on Ford Fisher's live stream in a few places. Once that's done, well, the other thing I've got to do today is to work on some audio, also on Ford Fisher. So it'll be in Audacity today, I think. So since I was last on stream yesterday, last night, this morning, I don't know when, I took the time to clean some of the hard drive space so that I wouldn't be, I don't think I'm going to have near as much danger of crashing today from that alone. But the other thing is I'm glad to be clear of the motion stabilization, because it's just mind-bendingly boring. It takes a while to get it done. When it's done, it's great. And that's that. So I was also thinking about playing a video playing music through, but I discovered this last night. There is a problem with me playing music through YouTube. It's going to catch it. It's going to recognize that it's some of the time that it's stuff which has got a copyright on it, and I don't want to have any ads on these videos if I can avoid them. However, time being what it is, it's boring to not listen to anything. So I might be thinking from time to time, is there anything at all that I've got here in my on my hard drive which I actually could play through and not have to worry about things that I've recorded perhaps, or so it's in the background. But offhand, under recordings, yeah, I had to listen to these to make sure what they are. These are all after I, okay. I'm looking over my this distortion tracks. This is me live on stage. I don't know whether or not those are worth listening to. They're saying something. I could mix them together before I put them up. That would be even better. Let me look quick. I played Bearing's song last night too, and that did not get a copyright strike. Oh, Bearing heard about it. Yeah, and I shouldn't touch soundtrack music. This I realize. Don't touch soundtrack music. So, much ado about nothing. Let's get back to Blender, my favorite. Grassy Knoll Processing is a rather large file now, though, because it's got a bunch of different video clips all associated to it. Also, to anyone who is watching, I recognize too that sometimes when I'm trying to show you things here on the screen, I'm not thinking through what it is you're seeing on your side. Like I didn't have an easy time imagining what it was anybody else would be looking at. But I recognized in the last number of hours that since my frame rate is at 15 frames a second, anytime that I try to illustrate something is out of the correct sync, say if it's playing at 30 frames a second but it should be at 45, I'm going to have a hard time showing you the frames in real speed, like in real time, unless I frame by frame through them, or if I upload a video later at 30 frames a second so it's really clear to see it. So what I might have to do is to one thing I might have to do is to convert the frame rate for 30 frames a second so it's really clear. Otherwise I'm going to be trying to play 45 frames a second in a video, and that's not my regular upload like style. I generally try to keep it to 30 frames a second, even though YouTube wants 60. Move this over here so I can see a little more of the chat interface behind myself. Anyone decides to join here this evening, you're certainly welcome. Oh, and you won't be hearing so much rain tonight. I've got the windows pretty much closed up, and I'm in the kitchen. So we're limited in terms of what we're going to be hearing. And I'm going to take the time to carefully make my window on the video editor side bigger. And I'm going to start this clip at frame 1 and ensure that it goes all the way to the last frame. Oh right, I don't need these, and I don't need that one either. I'm in the wrong place here. I'll just save this nice and quickly. All I need is just FFL today, just Ford Fisher. Here's the length of the stream, the Ford Fisher's work that I want to look at. I'm going to do release a copy of this stream, or do up a cut of it, which is going to take care of all the issues I can identify. This is actually the last one, I think. The last piece of... Did I check out that other video? Not yet. Hilljack? Not yet. I could do it right now, though. I could do it right this second. Oh, let me pull this up nice and quick. I'm catching that video before I get too deep. Oh, right, I did look at it. Is that the one that you linked last, I wonder? The 2 hour, the one you posted 2 hours ago? I did look at that video, and you know what? I tried to download it too, and it wouldn't let me. That's the one that Cy Borgeson put up? Is that the right video? I did see it, and what I've been trying to do is download it ever since. And I can't quite figure out how to get it to download nicely. It's giving me an error when I try to do that. All other ones have been easy to download, but not that one. The thing that surprised me about it was it's the timing of it. It seems wrong when you look at it, when you're watching it. Cy's another one up too. Yeah, I'll go check him. I've subscribed to him this afternoon. Ooh. Where's my button here? Cy Borgeson, like he's got the Roy Orbison picture too. He's even funnier. Goldilocks. Oh my God. So here's a question, since I'm looking at Cy's videos here now. Taylor Lorenz was assaulted for filming the crash scene, according to the title. Is that why people were putting their fingers over the camera? Because they knew they'd be assaulted if they didn't? Jacob L. Smith crowd or crew stream. I gotta have a look at that one.
Cargo bag. That is a push chopper.
The motion stabilization.
In our videotape. See if there's any spots to go to the bridge. That's perfect access. You're allowed to park like where all those other cars right there are too. Like on the side.
That's not a new chopper.
Here's the chopper. Trying to skip ahead here and find out where the action starts.
Message Evan and ask him where he is.
Joey's leaking.
Well, there's the chopper. Gosh, and I thought my motion stabilization was bad. Hash night, yeah, I think so. I think tonight is hash night.
So, As
Guy
you
who
see,
assaulted her is in
we
that
just
crew,
parked
right?
downtown. There's a helicopter right above us that's just kind of hovering. Right over there.
Are you live?
Yeah.
I'm skipping forward here. I'm going right forward to like where I know there's gonna be a crowd of people around. Within 10 minutes. Wow, this person kept the phone upright. Ugh.
It's more.
I never thought I would know Charlottesville so well in advance either. Like, I've started to recognize things when I see them.
I think that's my good buddy's
Smash racism,
but I'm not sure.
I think.
Or it's smash racism. It's somewhat.
I think so, but he's not. Are we not 100% sure? Smash racism.
Yeah,
All right,
smash
there we
racism.
go.
Okay, these are guys we like. We're good.
Making sure we're all on the good side.
How else can we tell each other apart?
We're walking with black people in rainbow colors.
Fucking block the trolley.
Is the stream really like this or what?
Charlottesville, embrace diversity. There we go, people. Oh, look up your
10-4. Is that back before they joined their march? Must be, yes. This is not giving me a... Here. It's the mall, right?
I want a balloon.
Funny. Why pick up balloons? I don't know.
Doggy break. Where are they?
They're right there. I'm gonna get the dog. Your face looks happy.
I think I'm going to use this one as a case in point. I'll leave it playing in the background here and I'll try to download it.
We have a pretty girl at home that looks just like her.
You're pretty too high. You must be a puppy. No, she's 5.
Oh.
She's 5. Oh, they're both 5. She's 7. Oh, wow. 7 and 5.
Yeah, I just have a pupper face.
Oh.
That's all the love we need. Have a great day, guys.
Yeah, it's not letting me download anything from Size Site either.
Huh, there's my manager. Fuck you, Patrick. Right over there. Fucking asshole. The one with the hat on and the glasses. Or if I scream
the only
fuck you,
reason she's
Patrick,
going
he'll
to the
probably
mall?
hear me. Asshole.
Yep.
Yeah, there is, and I can't remember what it is.
Around 8 minutes, cool.
Yeah, her.
God damn.
Take a picture of that shit.
Like,
There it is, yeah, that's the National Guard and shit. That's right, states, National Guard, right? Federal or state, gotta be.
I mean, unfortunately it comes down to this, but we are prepared.
Wow, a bunch of them in uniform. They're in their flag and their flash shit.
But we always have time for puppies.
Yep.
Hi!
You are too
Pretty funny, yep. People got time for dogs.
cute
and
with their
not for
little
other
black
people.
ear. Oh my god.
Hi. All breeds?
This is the motherfucking bitch right here.
Oh,
All breeds matter too, homie.
Don't bully my breed.
that's right.
White people down here wearing all black. Look at them. Look at them. Wearing all black. That's impossible.
Looking like some Call of Duty shit, not even gonna lie.
Call of Duty. I was thinking more like Counter-Strike. If I downloaded this one, I'd be able to fix this framing issue, I think. But I don't think it's going to let me download it either. I don't know if that's just occurred the last couple days because of the stuff I have been downloading either. Well, I know where to find these. That's the main thing. I'm going to make this smaller so the chat isn't too obscured. Yeah. There's not much I can do with that stuff unless I can download it. That's the biggest pain in the butt about it. So I know where the cuts come in because of the audio. I'm going to lay a cut with K key in this one, which will now cut this into two separate pieces. This one I want flipped on the X. So now we get the proper view of what Ford is looking at. The road that he's on and what's next to him. So he's looking north there, yeah? Sizing stuff up. This is really interesting. I've noticed this afterward, but the gap between where the camera cuts and the audio microphone switches is that long. 20 frames almost. And that's how it plays. It's a long gap, but it's at least in time from one end of the gap to the other. So that's the first cut. We'll see the Challenger. I got to do the audio from this section onward. So I figure the audio is going to be cleaned from the beginning of the track to about 3 minutes. I could do the whole thing, but the noise situation changes 3 or 4 places in the video. So to do that would be taking a chance of destroying a lot of data, destroying a lot of sound. And these are all the face to camera moments, these little cuts. Banjoing over lately. I was out on Friday night. I went out for the period that I took a break for. I went down and played on the street for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. As I was finishing up, two people arrived on the same corner to play, one with a banjo and one with a guitar, and they both had French accents. They're from Quebec. I said, hey, how long did it take you guys to get here? And they go, well, we were on the highway and some trucker, picked us up and drove us all the way here. I said, wow, you got just the right spot. So I told them, this is about 1:32, 2 o'clock in the morning. I said, you guys stay right here. I haven't seen them since either. I wonder how they did, but told them, you guys stay right here. You're going to have a lot of money before this night is over. In 2 hours' time, you'll be set for at least a day or two. And I made, what, 30, 40 bucks in the space of an hour and a half? Good times, good times. I think it was better though last week when during Labor Day weekend. So this weekend is a little more laid back than what we saw down there last week. And August month is crazy downtown. Festivals and excuses to drink every night. So now that I've seen a really badly motion stabilized clip, I'd like to have a look at a really good one. That plays great. Frame step till we get to the next one. That definitely gives us a better clear view than what the original was. I mean, this is chalk and cheese from this. Trying to pick out anything in the distance there is kind of tough. It's just jerking around left and right. Whereas, even with a half temporary motion stabilization, this looks better. So that's the light SUV behind it over here, isn't it? It's got to be one or the other. If that's the second one, there should be another dark sedan in front of it. Ooh. Did you hear the music at the beginning of the stream, Hilljack? Because I got a dulcimer that I bought last month. Actually, I'm going to go grab it for a second. Last month, at the beginning of July, I mean. This thing is really nice, easy as heck to play. Anyway, I figure I'll get at this tonight when I'm waiting for the long file to render. So I'll keep it close at hand. Next time I want some real music, I'll go at it with that one. That's what they call one of those guitar dulcimers. And I think that I paid $50 for it secondhand. A buddy of mine had it. He's like, Jim, you interested in getting this? $50. I said, well, sure. Bought it on the spot. And before I'd finished testing it out, I'd made $1. Someone threw $1 at me. I was like, okay, good purchase. A day later, I went out on the road and I made $150 with it. To me, that's a really good purchase of a fishing rod. I calls it fishing. I saw someone on the road Friday night, and they asked me, "What's your hustle anyway? What's your angle?" And I'm like, "I'm fishing." What do you mean you're fishing? Like, I'm fishing. I'm just down here fishing for what? For $10 an hour. So how are you doing anyway? Well, $10 an hour. It's actually a little bit higher than 10 the other night though. This next one I'm actually rather proud of because it does work well. It does prove the point here. You can see somebody in the van and you can see how much glare is on the windscreen from the sun. But as he moves forward, the glare moves down on the screen because of the angles. And she right now is in behind the glare. See the blue of the sky and the clouds and stuff? There's a shadow blocking the line of the window there, isn't it? So I figure both of those are worth doing here. There is only one other insert I can think would be ideal, and that is to do an insert somewhere around here to make it clear that the Camry and foot traffic is visible here as the Challenger is as well. So this is a super simple kind of a task. I would only have to do what's called a transform on this. This is a clip. It's a clip of the larger clip. So if I go Shift A and Effect Transform, I can cut this in and out. Like I can blend to and from this one, and this will give me some of the different controls. Like for example, if I want to scale it, I want to scale just this one little clip. You set it to uniform scale and then go to 2. Now it's zoomed in, and if I hit H, the original is still behind it. So I can cut back and forth from this one by changing how visible it is, the opacity. If I only want that at half, if I only want that at 2, and if I want to crossfade it rather than replace, I set this to cross. And what's underneath it will also be visible. Like it'll blend between the two of them. So let's go 0.5 here. And we'll make this more visible. There's forward, zoomed and not. I could also set this top one here to overdrop, which literally puts it right on top of the other one. And then if I go 0.2 or 1, shouldn't much matter. So the other thing about moving this clip or zooming it in, so I know the camera doesn't show up to about here. I don't need it to be scaled quite that much. But I do need to have an idea where it is and what it looks like. So I can move this clip separate. Like I can reposition it to get what the part that I want dead center. Let's say that's going to be at about 40. And about 24. Now I go to 2. In fact, let's go to 3. Can also rotate it. Make it up and down. And there's our intersection. So that's twice as far as I had it put. Oop, 80. Say the Appalachian Dulcimer around here too, yeah. seen folks play the Appalachian dulcimer, right? That's why I kind of like this one. Something in between of a lap dulcimer and a hammer dulcimer. The lap dulcimer being like the Appalachian style, and the hammer dulcimer being the one where you got actual hammers to hit the strings. But this is played like a guitar. You can play it claw hammer, you can play it straight, you can play it picking individual notes like you would with a mandolin or a banjo even. You know, like Irish style. What I found is really neat is the tuning. So it's like the Greek thing, right? So like you can play any style of music on this thing. Greek, any style of world music possible. That's what I really liked about it. I was like, oh wow, you can do anything on this thing. Let's zoom, or let's play this through here now. See the Camry. Camry must be in the intersection behind him here. But there it is behind these people. You can see it driving there. I'm going to let this play at, like I'm scrubbing through, playing at what I call finger speed. It's a little bit less than 30 frames a second, but if we were to compare the speed of the Camry against the speed of the Challenger, I think the Camry's going slower. Like the Camry looks like it's hesitating and the Challenger doesn't. Let's try even farther, eh? Like 3.5. Man, 4. 4 times oversize. This should be at 120 maybe. Maybe 110? People moving north on the street behind them. And there's the Camry. So what I'll probably do is, well, one way I could go about doing this is to make another cut in this transform strip, which I've applied to it. This is hard coded to the size of the strip underneath it. This sequence. So I could actually limit it to just this area by making another cut in this clip, and then it would only transform the area I want zoomed. And now that I got an idea of where those settings might be, that's going to be a lot easier to do, right? So 4, 110, 24. Please hold for a second. Got a housemate behind me. Back from break. The good news is it's not only a hash night. It'll be a little bit of both. So what I was saying was I could get a clip that's going to get the Camry and stuff here and the Challenger passing, but I only need pretty much a straight video pass through. I don't need to do any kind of motion stabilization or anything on this piece. So what I'll do is go to the mark that I know the Camry is on, next marker where I've marked it, and okay, I'm gonna hide. Well, what was it again? Was 24, was 110, was 4, right? So I K to cut this clip. Now this clip is shorter by almost the amount that I need. I go to the next marker. Ooh, this is the next marker. Challenger at the center of 4th and Main. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. That's 2 seconds. Tune 10, tune 2, tune 3. So it's 4 seconds, 3 seconds. And I'm going to cut that again with a K. 2 types of cutting in Blender. One's called a soft cut, one's called a hard cut. They're both underneath the strip menu there. K for the soft cut and Shift K for hard cut. And what that will do is, if I move this clip, I'll grab it and hit the Y to limit it to Y-axis. If I was to grab the end of the clip here, it'll allow me to go back in time from over these frames which I've already got. Like I could get all the way back to frame 9071 here, and it would have the same video data in both of those clips. If I use hard cut, it won't do that. Hard cut limits the frame. The first frame is the first frame. If you go back beyond the first frame, try to scroll it back like that, it'll only show you that first frame until it gets to that frame and then rolls from there onward. That's the difference between hard and soft cutting in Blender. There's the transformation I want. It's just going to be like a quick cut over. Uniform scale times 4. X was 110. Y was 40. Rotation to taste. Fine tuning by clicking on the buttons on the other side. Looks like it was about 7 degrees off of center. Let's just see how this plays. Da da da. Camera's visible, people are visible. It's all of 20. It's got to be 10 seconds between the time that the camera goes on to the east, like go east 4th on the way to market, or sorry, water. It's got to be all of 20 seconds from the beginning of this. Like here he is in the intersection here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's the part you told me to do the other day, the woo hill jack. 16, 17, 18, 19, and he's in the intersection. Hey Janet. WB. Big welcome back. I had another look at Rebel Z again last night since you pointed it out so many times, Janet, and you're right. It is a useful video. Does have a lot of information in it. I think it verifies Goldie's timing on it too. But they got to be standing next to one another, hey? One in front of the other, pretty much. I ain't convinced. You know, I'm beginning to think if I started looking through various video sources, I'd sooner or later find a video showing a car flashing its lights up on 4th. That's a wild guess on my part, but if I was in the position of the Challenger, that's perhaps what I'd do to signal. And you'd only see it from that intersection. Ooh, hope it doesn't crash. I'll save here now before we get any farther. If it does crash, the reason is I'm using more than one web browser page and it's chewing up my memory. So I don't want that to happen. I'm going to close down a few of these windows. Check, check. Audio still working? Good. Sounded like Ford to me. I know it sounds like a woo or something to me, but I've listened to it a few times. I remind you, this is what I'm planning to do tonight: is look at the audio frame for Ford more than anything. Once I get the audio for that first section done, I can render what I figure is a decent, like, compilation, compiled set of clips for Ford's work, right? Is what I'm planning on. So the audio from the very beginning here, up to and including here, could be done. After there is where Newo wanted it cleaned. I managed to clean, I cleaned that just for something to do the other day, from here onward. All of these have been recolored as well. I've got a color change pass put up to it, or what you call a levels pass, curves. And that's currently applied to all of these clips. So Virginia for I didn't say this, I don't know, I better. That one should be turned off. That one doesn't have one. No. Yeah, I had it applied to just this clip. So I've cut that into a series of pieces now, right? I think it looks better in this one though. It's clearer that what we're looking at. I'm expecting there might well be a crash when I get into Audacity too. Audacity is good for most purposes, but every now and again decides to get a little cranky. I'm actually curious to see whether or not I can get this to work now. I'm going to try to put in the walk like an Egyptian Mo stab right there. This is where it belongs. Under clip, and it's this one. Notice how the frames are the same here? The same picture, but one is darker, one isn't. So this should motion stabilize from the first pass I did on it. I hope it does anyway. Let's see. If it does, we'll see the car doing the photo finish. There it is. There it was. There it goes. So since I've already done all these clips once before, now I can easily just drag and drop them right into the file where I want them. I did a second motion stabilization later to show like a photo finish with the guys on the line too. I don't need to do that one now. The car, I'm confident, can be spotted going between these 2 points. Between here and here, which is just the finish line. You can think of that as the finish line and the start line too. This location. So there's nothing else that I need to do to change any of the image data, I think, in Ford Fisher's live stream here. I don't think it's necessary to do anything else to it. So the last thing remaining for Ford is to do an audio clean of the whole thing, or at least up to here. Afterward, there's much less reason to clean the audio, if you get what I'm saying. But beforehand, yeah, there's more reason to. And that is at the 8-minute mark. So I'm going to get real precise. If I go here and if I hit page down, it'll go to the last end frame, which happens to be on this clip. And that's telling me it's at 8:01. So if I went to 8:02, I should consider this the place where the audio edit will stop. That'll be where it ends. So what I'll do next is get this file, this part of the file, just the audio section from the container. I'll move that down into, I'll take that into Audacity and I'll close Blender while I'm doing it. So Audacity. And I've got Audacity in this window, but I haven't got it set up yet. So give me a second. I will turn it on. All right, because I got a whole bunch removed from this image. Better off seeing most of this window. Views up the street, yeah, I noticed that. I did notice that, and I did notice too, there was a time or two where I thought, shit, can I see a flash of lights up there? Because I didn't look for that first. I thought about that first, and then I started looking for it. The sun is also, if you're looking up that road, the sun would be behind you, right? So it's possible you're seeing a reflection from the sun. But a flash of the lights would be easily spotted. It'd be pretty blurry too in most camera phones, and you'd have to use a high-end camera to actually capture a good image up the road like that. At like a deep focus shot. I guess some of the cameras, like anything this fisheye has infinite focus, so it should all be in focus theoretically, but it's all being crunched by the same codec, so the actual artifacting which is introduced to the image you can't fix. So, Ford Fisher live stream. This audio file is huge. Here in the background sounds like the roomie's watching some was it mixed martial arts, MMA. Sequence is still loading here. It takes a while. It's going to be a minute to load 800 megs of video. It only needs the audio. That's like a 45 or a 50-minute stream altogether, man. That's a long ass period. So as we were just saying, or as I was just saying, of this sequence, I only need less than this. Let's view to selection, Control E. If I click on the edge of this screen here, or like edge of the selection area, I can actually fine tune this. And then at the bottom you can see how big the selection is. I can specifically tell it to be as big as I want. So I'm going to set it to be 802. And then I'm going to trim it. Control T. Which is all the audio I need to hear. So this, oh, and it's already messing up. Looks like I'm going to have to try to redo this one. Force quit. Farmer cover project. Oh, did the same thing again. Shoot. Forced to quit. I'm gonna try that again. I might have to rip the audio from it separately first. I tried to recover the project that had started from Audacity. That's the reason why it didn't work. Discard project, please. Yes. Project rate 4800. Import audio. I'll go to the correct file locations. I got to go through this 40-second rigmarole again. I'll make the window smaller. I'd say this might even mess up. I might have to do this while not streaming. This could screw up simply because I'm using the audio recording loop of my sound card to do a stream. Because if you remember, the last several times I've done anything with Audacity, it's been offline and uploaded later. If this works in the stream, I'll be happy. It loads, but I wonder, does it play good? It changed my project rate. That's the issue here. That's not going to help. Force quit. Now I'll try one more here. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here in Audacity very well, because I know that I'm working with a window that doesn't show all the pop-ups. But here on the bottom of the window, you can see that I have a project rate setting. I'm going to set that to 44.1 right now, because I know that the clip that I'm trying to get is also at 44.1. Import audio. There is another way I could go about doing this to kind of get around the restrictions of file codecs or audio types and stuff. And that is, I could what's called transcode this. Either strip just the audio file from it, take a clip, and work with that, or transcode it to another style of codec. So something other than MP4 or MP3, like an OGG maybe would be good. They call it OGG. I'm hoping this cooperates. Something is dreadfully wrong with that. Okay, ripping audio. Here's where I go to another program. This one I haven't got loaded to anything. It's called Transmageddon. And Transmageddon, all that it does is transcode one file to another file. So I'm going to do it simply to change the audio data from one style to another. You could also use FLAC here, what's called the free lossless audio, or FLAC. This will take a little while to do. Since it takes a while. Beginning of the stream too, I had this. Oh, sorry. That's the reason why I like this thing. It's so easy to pick stuff like that out. First thing I ever learned to play on a keyboard. Whiter shade of pale. I had a friend with like a cheap piece of a cheap old air-blown organ, like a cat. It wasn't even Casio, I don't think. I don't remember what it was. Picking and grinning, yeah, waiting for the stuff to finish converting in the background because this is going to take a while. It's about 30%, maybe a quarter. Past the quarter, headed to 30. So we tripped the light fandango and turned cartwheels across the floor. Well, I was feeling kinda seasick, and the crowd called out for more. Well, the room was getting hotter as the ceiling flew away, and we called out for another drink, and the waiter brought his tray. And so it was that later, as the river told his tale, was a miller, and his face at first just ghostly turned a whiter shade of pale. Really like about this thing has got the frets cut in such a way. I might as well show this while I'm doing it. I'll put this over here while I'm waiting for the work to finish. Filters, please. Filters. Here. See the frets on it? Not like a regular guitar where there would be a fret halfway through there and another one there and another one there and another one there and another one there. But you can get notes fretless on this thing. Like after this note, there's another note. That I really like. That's so cool. Who would think that a fretless machine would work like that? But it works. Frets, you don't really need frets. Frets just make it easy. Frets take the guesswork out. What was the one? Do Something by Gordon Lightfoot? You know, I could do one on here. Sundown, you better take care. Better take care if you find I've been taken down my back stairs. Never tried this before. Beauty queen, she's a hot loving woman, got me feeling mean. Sometimes I think it's a sin when I feel that I'm breaking, but I'm losing again. Sundown, you better take care if you find I've been streaking round your back stairs. See you looking cool in your summer dress, down and you're feeling the best. Sundown, you better take care if you find I've been waiting round your back stairs. Sometimes I think it's a sin when I feel that I'm waiting, but I'm losing again. Foggy Mountain Breakdown. Oh, you know, I've heard it a million times and don't know how to play it on a claw hammer. I got a claw hammer banjo as well as a 6-string. And I got this old 4-string, which used to be claw hammer, and then I took the 5th off. So I like listening to bluegrass and things like Foggy Mountain Breakdown, but when I think about them, I'm almost always thinking about a guitar player, not a banjo player. I'm a big fan of Doc Watson. I like Doc Watson's style of guitar playing. And Foggy Mountain Breakdown is right up his alley. That's his alley. Damn, isn't Doc good at it too? Oh shoot, that was the wrong button. That wasn't a crash, that was me hitting quit instead of don't use. Discard projects, yes. Sometimes I think it's a sin You ever heard Sundown before, Janet? Or, yeah. You ever heard that one before? Gordon Lightfoot's best song ever, I think. Sundown, you better take care. So I'm looking for the file that I just converted and I'm not finding it anywhere. Let's look for that again. Under projects, under Fuffer, under assets, under video. Going to transcode the whole damn thing this time. I'll be right back. This is the banjo. The banjo can do a lot. Foggy Mountain Breakdown, I could probably fake it, but I'm not that good at bluesgrass. And everything I ever learned to play, I learned on a guitar. Picked it up on a guitar first, pretty much. And I'm taking a guess at the tuning here. On the Grassy Knoll video where? 1721 or 1712, yeah. got them deep and dark and river blues. You let the rain better right on. He said let them waves yeah sweep along, 'cause I got them deep river blues. My old gal, she's a good old pal, but she walks just like a waterfowl when I get them deep and dark river blues. There ain't no one gonna cry for me, and the fish they'll go out upon a spree when I get them deep river blues. Let the back boys pawn a boat, said I'm gonna sail if she'll float, because I got them deep river blues. Well, I'm going back down to Muscle Shoals, the times are getting better down there, I'm told, when I got them deep river blues. Let it rain, let it pour, yeah, let it rain, yes, a whole lot more, because I got them deep and dark river blues. And now I'm gonna say goodbye, and if I sink, you better let me die when I get them deep river blues. That's why I like this thing. I can do things like that a little bit easier. Probably a little loud too, like so close as that. So I'm a big fan of the six string one. I keep hearing stories too about what's his name, Neil Young busking around Europe with nothing but a banjo. So I have to do a quick look up here, see whether or not I can rip an audio stream easier than I'm trying. So let's see if there's a Linux tool for me to do it first. MPlayer will do it, hey? Right on. Output file, file name, and then... Wow, this is awesome. Shoot, if I'd known it was that easy. Dang. This is the right one. So I gotta go CD here, projects. And then I can only remember half of what I just read. It's dump audio, then dump file, output file name, and then input video file. Sweet. Dump audio, dump file. Okay. Dump file. fflaudio.mp3. And this is the haha, done. Cheap and cheesy, but it works. Ah, I love it. So I just did a command line tool. I just used the command line tool to do what I couldn't get done in Audacity. It probably still won't work in Audacity. Let's see what happens. And the reason, as I've said already, is I think Audacity doesn't like me using other audio services while I'm doing work in it. And since I'm using my microphone and sound card to capture audio for Open Broadcaster here, that might be the issue. In which case I can't do audio work tonight. I can only do video. But let's see what happens. Let's open Audacity one more time. Move that over. Make sure Audacity is selected. It is. Make sure it's up on screen. Looks to be. I'll go to my videos page or video folder. It's 50 megs worth of audio. See, so easy. But it's 45 minutes long. That's the reason why it doesn't want to load. This one isn't. Stands to reason I can do this in whatchamacallit too, now that I think about it. Stands to reason that I can get done when I need to get done here. I want just the audio from Ford Fisher's live stream. How can I get it? Here's another way. I don't know if you could hear that in the background. Then what I've done is I've loaded VLC with Ford Fisher's live stream in it. Because VLC is generally a pretty easy to get along with piece of software. I'll move it to the top so you can see what I'm doing. Or you can see at least that I'm working with it directly. Under my window, or under the window media, save playlist file, stream. I've got options under what I can do to this. See, I should be able to save the audio stream separately. Convert save. 4 a.m. Reveille, eh? Right on. See you later, Hilljack. It's good to have you, buddy. We'll see you later. I will. I'm going to be taking it real easy in another hour or so. I'll be sitting down, busting and rolling. The B and R. Convert save. No, I want this one to be saved. What if I go over here? This didn't do the job. See whether or not I can find another spot to do this. So VLC is the next best way of doing this. I know that. I'm having a quick look over what I could and couldn't do here. Might have to go off stream long enough to do the audio, in which case it's video editing tonight. That's what I am thinking. Don't want to save the playlist to a file, that's darn sure. See if I can get anything to load. That would be actually cool. That's playing too fast. Yeah, that's definitely an issue with the frame rate, or not frame rate, the sample rate, I think. Force quick. So yeah, I guess it's video tonight and video only, and then I'll have to save. I'll have to save a video of myself doing this. Why it should be like this while I'm streaming, though, I have no idea. Or if I rebooted too. This should not be giving me issues. Strikes me that I do have another way of getting the audio, but it takes forever and a day to get it. And Audacity window could be turned off. Blender window could be turned on. Since audio is also handled here in Blender, although it's not necessarily handled terribly well, I could output a symbol, like a single file just as the audio, just the audio part, right? AC3, high bit rate. Actually, I might even want to put it out as wave here, or FLAC. PCM would be wave. MP3 would be compressed. So let's go 256 on the MP3. So there's very little compression applied. And see also here I've got an audio button, hey? Makes the scene audio sound to a, mixes the scene's audio to a sound file. The thing is when I do this is that it's going to look like it's crashing for the length of time that it takes to render 15 minutes. So since I know I only want 8 minutes of audio, I'm going to go to the other side, the last marker and previous marker that. I'll go forward one frame. I'll mark this as the end. So the audio file I'm looking for is only that long. And I'm going to call it 8-minute and then AUD for audio with another backspace or underscore. Save it. Hit the audio button up here. It's going to ask me for information about how to save this and how to save it. I'll go MP3. I'll go 256. We'll go 32-bit sound to it. Accuracy. Under assets, this is where all of the footage is being put right now, so that's just the attack part. Oh look, that must be the file I'm looking for. Let's try this a second time. It's starting to render now, so it's going to take a while. Shall take quite a bit. Don't know if I know any more Gordon Lightfoot on the dulcimer. I don't actually. Started learning some. Really don't know clouds at all. That'd be Joni Mitchell, yeah? Time enough for this thing to do a render pass. That's pretty cool. Again, I can quit that one for a second. I'm going to pull up the file window where that was just done. So FFL audio is there, and then the Blender mix is also there. Blender made it smaller. Blender made the audio data much, much smaller. Wow, the one from Blender loaded in no time flat. I'd like to see this work. I would really like to see this work. Fucker. Pardon my French. Why it decides to go screwy like this, I'll never know. Both sides now, that's right. Correct. Neil Diamond did a cover of that, didn't he? Among other people. What was it? There was another one too. I was playing another Joni Mitchell one. What one was it? Oh! Faster one. A faster one. talking about. It's all Joni Mitchell's songs can be played on a dulcimer. All of them. I gotta just hear this to make sure it works.
Okay, looks like it's going down. All right. We're back. My phone overheated. If it goes down again, I'm probably fine, but the phone's probably overheating again. About 1 block ahead of me right now is the National Socialist Movement banner. So basically National Socialists are walking across the streets of Charlottesville now.
So, I got what I want and it's working fine. That's the main thing. Did this one work too? I wonder. Is this the OG? This is the one that I ripped. Yeah, this one screwed up. Okay. Okay. I'll delete that one. But I do have it. I'm gonna have to spend some quality time with that audio tonight, otherwise there's nothing much else for me to do. Other than look over specific footage stuff. I'm just looking over a couple of quick articles here on online to see whether or not there's something I can figure for exactly why I'm getting trouble with Audacity tonight. Local view up here. Ooh, that's an interesting point. I could try that too. I could try using Blender to do a really super high quality version of Ford's audio. I hadn't thought of this. This is worth talking about. This is coming from the Audacity forums. Because I've been using MP3 audio, not much by choice, but it's what's been handed to me, right? And I say this in terms of what the internet is going to give me. For example, if I go on to YouTube and get a video link, most of the videos on YouTube have already been converted to MP3. That's the type of audio that it uses. Almost all of them. So I'm going to leave that on here. Bump that over. So I just exported this sequence of audio first, but I'm going to do it again now. I'll do the audio again, and this time I'm going to use FLAC, which is lossless. It's going to play it through and then play it back at a high quality, so the file size is going to get bigger, but not by much. 786, 256, 612, you know. literally 5. This might be an interesting way of doing this instead. You won't see the dulcimer so much because it's here. That's a sweet little thing. That's the reason why I was most impressed with this thing. I wouldn't call the next one a pride thing or anything. I'm just playing it because it's pretty sound. I don't necessarily think the words either, and I'm still working this out so that I can do it without necessarily having to stop and fix it as I'm doing it. cars go past. The ending is a Newfoundland tune as well. The two of them are. The first one is the Ode to Newfoundland, and then the end phrase was from a song called Jack Hinks. 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 Jack Hinks, good song. Well's now that I'm back and in the grain. Lock those down. I'll close the window altogether here for a second, the VLC window. So what I'm trying to do here is, I was just thinking about this again out by the door. I've got about half the audio I actually want to use here. I mean, the whole audio is going to need to be done, or going to be used, but I only need half of it. Well, I've got the right half that I need sound reduction done in anyway, the noise reduction. Thinking I'll probably put a label on it too to say this is the audio you're listening to has been noise reduced. So it's clear that it has been edited some. I don't even know what we're dealing with here tonight. There might not be any viewers at this moment in time. Probably, if they are, they're not in chat. That's okay. I don't care about that. I mean, I do care. But if you want to say something, or if something I say causes you to want to say something, then by all means, contribute. And as frequently as you wish. And I was talking to Hilljack there earlier, that's before Janet showed up, going over what I need to get done tonight. And I think my goal for the end of the night is going to be to get a final render of this clip from Ford, which is 16 minutes, or about a third of his entire live stream. So all the changes I think are made now that needs to be made to make this clearer and to understand like where he is, where he's located, why the sign and this is correct now, because beforehand it was like this. So obviously that's also flipped. So I think that's all of the places where he delivers like a bit to camera. You also see right at the beginning here that there is a number of drop frames before the next one picks up. Because I was that whole time that it was holding still, I was tap, 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 tap. So I really want to do this audio, and if I can't get the audio working, I think what I might have to do is to stop streaming for a second, see if I can't get Audacity to work, and then resume streaming. Yes, cover your butt. That's why I've got myself recorded playing music, so I don't have to get copyright strikes. My butt doesn't need it. My butt absolutely don't need it. But now this also means that I think I've got a definitive, least confusing cut of Ford Fisher, visually speaking, for all of the rest of this 8-minute section, right up to the time of the accident. So anything that he's doing here with the Challenger and stuff around him, it's all visible. And then scenes like this, there's a cut coming. There it is. And we're in the middle of the cut there. And there it resumes. Yeah, and those 10 that I just skipped, the Challenger passed them. So really the audio I'm most interested in is this section beforehand, in this area, from this clip all the way up to here. So all of this audio, I want to, if not enhance, I want to make it clearer that the Challenger's right next to him. You can hear it in the audio. It's totally not difficult to hear it.
Yes.
I got the volume turned up quite a bit. This is that actual volume. So you can hear the Challenger accelerating now. And again now. So that takes care of that reason why I'm looking at this area. And then afterward, I think this works really well. Considering some of the other motion stabilized things I've seen in the last few days, this actually does look good. This looks really good comparatively for all the jerkiness. So I've been calling this a bus the last couple days, but that's actually a trolley, hey? Huh. That's considered a trolley line? There's no overhead wires anymore. We used to have them here too. Overhead wired trolleys. Same as San Fran's got. And now this is really clear. I think this is great. And this is a long one too. And once it gets close to the van, I've got a second separate cut. You can see there's a cut line there. I got the dotted line marking it as well as the black line on the clip. When we get to here, I actually cut to a second set of motion stabilization just to get the van. And I think you can clearly see there's someone in the front there. Immediately after it passes that guy, back to the regular footage. I mean, assuming that we're not going to see anything now at this point. Right? The Challenger's had more than enough time to clear the end of the road. I'm still going to do an audio clean on this part of the audio though. All the way up through here. When this will cut in. So there's the Camry, just went into the intersection. See that? Watch it at play speed. Camry goes through pretty slow. And then I'd like to compare the speed of the Camry to the speed of the Challenger. It's clear to me the Challenger seems to be moving about twice as fast as what the Camry was. The Camry was hesitant, in other words, in going into that part of the road, whereas the Challenger went right in. And part of that reason is kind of clear in the video too, is there's people moving north here. And they're over here now too. I guess these are moving down the road. They're moving west. Watch again from the moment when the Camry is here. People moving north, car. The comparison in speed between the two. Back it up. Wasn't that the Tundra they passed? Where to? On Water Street? Where to on water? After the intersection? There? No. Where do you think the tundra is? I noticed you mentioned this the other day, actually, or yesterday. That one could be. It's a different driver, though, isn't it? Not entirely sure. You mean the Tundra right in the middle of the road, right? In this section? Excuse me, but don't we know? I could actually do this. I can look at this car a little. So is that the one you meant? Because that's a Nissan. Is it a Nissan Tundra? No idea. I thought it was a Chevy Tundra. It is a Chevy, yeah. Cool. So that's not the Tundra. I'm going to turn these clips off, the motion stabilization for a second, just so that we can quickly go through here without it being lag or anything. Yeah, the bus tram. No, I think that's a Nissan, not a Chevy. That's what I was just looking at. You can see the Nissan logo at the front of it. Right, you're talking about the bus tram. Yeah, that's when they're passing it, right? Like we first see that right about here. That one. The bus behind it. So if I... Yeah, watch. If I hide the clip, so we look at the original footage, we can actually see the front. And the front tells me that's a Nissan, not a Chevy. So it can't be the Tundra. Or is that a Chevy? I'm pretty sure that's a Nissan symbol. Because Chevy is just the chevron, right? I'm going to do another way of looking at this. Front Chevy Tundra. Ooh, 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 ooh. Spell it right. And now look for images. Yeah. Those are Toyota. Toyota makes them too? The lights look different. I'm going to look front grille Tundra. It is a Toyota, not a Nissan. Okay. Toyota makes them. Is this one of those cars that's made in two countries or two companies now? Either way, I still think that looks like more like a Chev or a Nissan. Let's look for a Nissan pickup. Nissan four-door. This one's actually really good. That's what it is. View the file. I'm going to post you a link. Here's a link. Just compare compare that picture to the picture of the van we're looking at, or the truck we're looking at. I think it's clear that's a Nissan. It got the right wind. It's got the right grill work. It's got the right lights. It's got the right symbol. So I thought it was a Chevy Tundra. I really did. But yeah, that's possibly a case of businesses doing the same thing. I'll tell you, it's a wonder Ford doesn't see whether or not the Tundra's in there. Like as he passes by here. Let me hide this one for a second. That's the one that zooms in on the minivan. We'll go through here nice and slow, like. So it's still, right, of course, because we see the guy get in here. We see the guy in grassy knoll who actually entered this vehicle. Right. He's probably close to it right about now, though. Because he's going to be closing the door on the inside there in a frame or two. Ford is like right around the corner when he closes the door. I mistakenly jumped to the end of the clip there. Excuse me, yawning. So that must be where Faith ducked in, yeah? Right there? I was looking at Rebel Z's video again last night, and I finally realized what I was watching. Like, Rebel Z comes down this road and then heads back. He's doing the opposite route to Ford. Disappearing women in reverse Toyota Tundra. Is that a YouTube name, file name, or a video name? So Rebel Z must be right up here, right? Right now. Or coming here shortly. Oh, if this wasn't 3,000 frames, I'd consider doing motion stabilization on the walk in this road too. I've been thinking too whether or not the Challenger might have been visible by the time this crowd made its way to the Market Street. If it wouldn't have met them by the time that they got there. And the reason being, 4:30, so a minute and a half later, we'll see the Camry, and then in 20 seconds after that, we'll see the Challenger. So 2 minutes from this point. I would expect the Challenger to be somewhere around there, or getting close to it. Facebook, the picture of the shoe kicking into the intersection says this is right where it happened. Disappearing woman in reverse Toyota Tundra. Hang on a second.
Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Kevin. I just wanted to... Well, people have been putting information down the string. They're like, do it in reverse, do it in reverse. So let's just... This is an iMovie, and it's not going to be real time, but I can scroll through it and kind of point some stuff out, okay? So when the car first comes through, you'll notice that it's pointed up, and you really can't see anything. So then you just have this... This is when the dude, you can see that. Is that him losing his shoe, or is that him losing a hat? Maybe that was his hat. So this guy's doing like a tumble across the top. And I have a buddy of mine who was a stuntman. He's a gymnast. And I want to do a little interview with him because he was talking about the stunt work that he had done. So he'd done a 10-story free fall. He'd done some
Now I see why we're having this discussion,
Janet. And because
cool.
he's an acrobat, he had done some of this stuff with cars. So... You know, I just think, where does the clip come in, right? And there's all kinds of stuff you can't see going on in here, right? So as this car comes down the street, and then you get the explosion of people, and one of the other guys put out a YouTube video on one of the photos where he was showing like the distance between the stop signs and how one of them should be way far away and you couldn't really see it, but it was there. So here you have like this person. They're tumbling, right? I just noticed one thing about this. So you have a man and a woman tumbling. So let's just look at this guy. Now, you know how it goes. If it's CGI, I mean, there are times when you see people clearly, and then in these videos, there are times you hardly see them at all. So let's watch this guy.
Okay, you might be right about that, but I don't think it's necessarily CGI that does that. I think it's the codec that makes the video that does that. Because if... Here's a question that I saw on one of the other comments to me, which was, how do you know that the video data is good? How do you know that there's not too many frames being dropped? And how do you know that it's like an accurate representation of the record, right? And the answer is that the more light there is, the faster the cameras can work. The more light there is, the faster the cameras work. But it's really picky about the light situation. So if it doesn't have perfect light, it doesn't get a perfect frame 30 times every second. It might only get it 20 times every second. Might only get it 10, 15 times every second. And that's the reason why sometimes people are too blurry or they look like they've been added in a CG fashion. But I'll keep watching.
Watch him roll into the crowd. Okay, this is the guy I'm pointing at right here. Watch him roll to a seated crouch position and then pretty much sit down with people. I mean, he's sitting right here now. I'm like, that's crazy. The dude, like, took a tumble over the car and then managed to sit right down with everybody. So everybody's like, you know, let's look at this thing in reverse and, like, see how it goes.
Are you sure he isn't sitting on somebody?
And if you look at the shadows, so if you pull up any of these videos, and not the shadow, if you look at the reflection, this guy here in the purple, if you watch him, when he's, like, hitting the car with the flag, it's like it's not even there.
This has been recolored.
So here are these guys.
You're not going to see a reflection if this is recolored incorrectly.
Guys come in. So again, we have this woman showing up here, right? And I'm looking at this, and people are right. When you look at this, this is forward. How is it possible she's able to do that when she's getting hit? And it should be dragging her down underneath the car. So
no,
let's
it
take her
shouldn't.
Back.
If she leans
from
up,
the
it won't.
start
But
here.
if she
So
gets caught underneath,
let's go
yes,
from
it
here,
will.
because all this stuff in here, you can't see anything anymore. It's just crazy. Okay? So if we started her from here, and let's just say she's sitting on the bumper of the car. So let's say she's sitting here on the bumper of the truck. She has her feet on the ground, and now she's holding on to the wing of the vehicle. Okay? So let's say she's moving forward, and she's holding on, and then she kicks her feet up, right here, right? So she kicks her feet, and then she's flagging out.
This guy got it wrong. Sorry. This guy's got it wrong. I'm watching this really carefully, and I think he's got it wrong. I could use the same video and show why. But.
So the way I'm looking at it, and people were talking about this wrap that she had on her body there. I guess maybe that was a top that she had taken off because it was hot. But look at it. If she was moving this way, which is the motion they show it, her clothing should be going this way, not that way. So the way I see it now, and rightly so,
her clothing's going down because of gravity,
is that she's flagging here, which tells me, like, if the car was going this way.
No, I think he's got this wrong. Frankly, I think he's got that wrong. We're listening to Charlottesville VA alt-right disappearing woman in reverse Toyota Tundra, that video. I disagree with most of what he's finding there, but I could probably show it from the same. I can't remember the name of that clip. Whose clip is that one? Oh, I bet you I just found out what was causing my issue with Audacity. I'm going to try quickly to load this again just to see. I was streaming to myself that time. That's not going to help. Knock on wood. Damn you. Damn you. Ah. Captain America, yeah. That's the name of the channel, right. I disagree with a lot of what he's finding there, but I think you have to figure out how much easier it would be to balance on the car if your inertia holds you in place against the momentum of the car, right? But if the car was to slow down a tiny bit, then your feet are going to drop. And when they do, she gets pinned against the Tundra and like wrapped through. So I don't see how you can make that claim. I don't see how you can make the claims that he's making in good faith without focusing on something which seems damning, but without ignoring the rest. And again, like, it's so difficult to see anything with like a video which is taken on a camera phone or whatever. The quality is decent, but unless you've got it locked down on a tripod and you're using the absolute highest frame rate and you got perfect lighting, you're never going to get a great picture out of it. Not a truly great one. I think perhaps I'm going to stop for a little while and get some audio started and see whether or not I can resume with Audacity working. Janet, I'm going to be back in, say, 20 minutes. If you're still around. If not, thanks for joining me. Thanks for helping. Greatly appreciate it. But I do expect I'll be back in a very short amount of time. And what I want to do is make sure I can get some more work done in front of everybody. Thank you very much, YouTube. My name is James PFP. Shall be back before the night is out.